Hello, hello, Space Cadets. It's your old pal, Vector Spaceman, and we're back at it again, coming to you live once more from Harbor Station, broadcasting on all frequencies to our most beautiful planet Earth. Now, whether you're watching us live or, hey, maybe catching us after the show, either way, don't you know we're glad to have you on board. Thanks for helping us make outer space the place to be. It's Sunday, May 15th, 2022. Welcome back to the show, Space Cadets. And
Wow.
hey, if you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. Hey there, Kieran, and hey there, of course, to Mr. Dominic Asner, our local arsonist. Hello, Mr. Spaceman of Space Learn. Indeed, that's what we're going to be trying to get into today. Stick around to see what's up. Space Cadets, I'm your host, Vector Spaceman. This is the Vector Spaceman Show. The weekend's just about over, but there's still time to kick back, relax, enjoy each other's company, discover some new games, learn something new. Yes, that's what we're going to be trying to do today. That's what it's all about. Stick around to see what's happening. If you missed the last show, we did our civic and galactic duty in gunning down rebel scum in the spaceflight simulator Star Wars Squadrons, but also spent some time being rebel scum, fighting back against the power of the Galactic Empire, playing both sides, getting to see the bigger picture. We're definitely a little rusty behind the controls of a starfighter, that's for sure, but there's still plenty of mission left in the game. We'll be back at it again in due time, no doubt, and we'll be bullseyeing womp rat-sized targets before you know it. So, of course, if you want to stay up to date with all of our broadcasts so that you never ever miss a show, then be sure to follow Vector Spaceman on Twitter, YouTube, and of course, right here on Twitch. Some silliness from Arson. Space Cadets, it's an unexpected turn of events, but this is going to be our last show for a minute. I'll be offline all of next week as I continue the ongoing process of upgrading the Live 2D model. It's a project that I've been working on for some time now, but despite all of our efforts, continuing to stream while I work has eaten up most of my free time, leaving us with very little progress left on the model, or done on the model, and much left to accomplish. So this will be our last show until next Sunday, and who knows what the next week after that will bring. Now fortunately, we're slated to appear in a couple of Goose Goose Duck group streams next week. You'll be able to find Spaceman over on friend of the show Hero King Soul's channel, along with many a fine virtual streamer. Now this new model is really taking a toll on my drive to keep doing shows, I'm not gonna lie. So I just hope that once it's all finally done, I'll get the motivation back to get creative, start making changes to the show. I want to thank you all for sticking around, weathering this process with me. I know shows have been more sporadic lately, but I'm hoping it's all going to be worth it in the end. Arson says if you want to say sussy in Goose Goose Duck, you say ducky. Is that right? All right, I've got the lingo. Thanks for that. All right, but now with that said, let's take a look at what's going on today, you guys. It's a title that's been collecting dust in my library on the virtual shelf. Another one that I picked up ages ago for free on the Epic Games Store. Today we're going to learn some programming principles with While True Learn, a game about applying programming techniques to solve puzzles and introduce concepts of machine learning, which I'm very interested in. I'm sure I've spoken before on the show about how I used to study computer science, programming, game design, and such. So we'll see if that gives us an edge in this game or how in-depth it actually gets. I'm excited to take a look. Hopefully we all learned something today, so sit back, settle in. Today's content will not be on the test, so no worries there. Say hello if you're listening in. We love to see folks in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to get started with While True Learn. Let's get our proper hands on and head on over to the big screen. Alrighty. So, we're starting a brand new game here. What are you guys talking about? Wanted for tax fraud and tax evasion? Choose checkpoint. Alright, I guess we gotta start a tutorial. Time to learn, you guys. To become a programmer, you must master your art of turning the computer on. Press and hold the flashing triangle and draw. Oh, so it's a virtual machine within the machine that we're gonna be working with. Alright, that's fun. Press and hold flashing triangle and drag to connect the power outlet with your PC, screen, and keyboard. Oh, so we've got nodes. That's what we're doing. I should have read the rest of that. Let me guess, we gotta connect the keyboard, we gotta connect the monitor. Time to cross the fingers and turn the power on. Let's boot up. Here we go. Oh, that's nice. You get a little, oh, perfect Windows XP background there. Just my style. Computer is on. One more step to be a programmer. We gotta fix bugs, of course. We gotta drink coffee, of course. We gotta get exasperated, no doubt. We gotta own a cat, that's key. We gotta make more coffee. Oh, hold on, what's happening here? The cat is getting involved. What did you do that, cat? Holy zeros, if only I could understand what this cat has to say. I guess we'll have to find out a way to recognize your speech. Goal, cat speech recognition. To-do list, Google it on Cat Overflow. That's always the go-to, isn't it? If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to solve your problem, you Google it. Enter your nickname. Ah. How about Spaceman? There we go. How'd you recognize animal speech? We're learning stuff. That little devil has debugged my code. Again, he definitely has something to say, so I decided to make some sort of system, algorithm, which would help me understand him. Give me advice, wish me luck. P.S. Not insane, my mom had me tested. Dr. Coder says, don't rush ahead of yourself. This is nice, there's actually a narrative element to this. I thought it was just going to be more technical. We've got some goals here, we've got some story going on. Oh my goodness gracious! Speaking of friends of the show who love cats, how are you doing, Indy? I haven't seen Indigo Radio in a hot minute. I hope you've been well. Did you have a good weekend? Space man afternoon? Hope everything's well, Indy. We're playing ourselves a little While True Learn today, trying to apply programming principles to understanding how cats speak, apparently. There's some sort of story to this game, we're just getting into it. I'm gonna start streaming again soon, not this coming week, but the week after that. That's awesome. I'm gonna be tuning in. Or you know what, I shouldn't say that because I probably won't, because you stream oh so very late, but anytime that I'm up late and I can't get to sleep, I do always love tuning into indie streams. So I will make endeavors to tune in whenever I can, that's for sure. Don't rush ahead of yourself. Making a device that would be able to detect the cat would be a nice start. Alright, so we're going to take this bit by bit. See, that's how you solve problems, you guys. One step at a time. Another response. A couple days ago, I've been reading about how Expert System can be applied for detecting animals and writing chatbots. The newspaper was called Deep News. I'll be sending you my copies once I'm done. Alright. Alright, now we gotta learn how to interact with this. Our workspace. This is where programming magic and bugs, mostly bugs, is born. To begin, drag an Expert System node from the list on the right. So I wonder, is this all going to be visual programming? Drag in an Expert System. Drag the connection line from the starting node on the left to Expert System node on the right. If you want to delete connection, place your mouse over the line and press right mouse button. Well, hold on a second. Why does that say input from camera? Let me just fade out here real quick. Just in case something goes awry. I don't think it's going to take control of our camera, but that'd be a little shocking if it did. If you want to delete the connection, place your mouse over the line and press right mouse button. Okay. So we're going to drag to this. If red, else. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. So it's taking input from the camera. If it's red, it's getting filtered into photos with a cat. If it's not red, it's getting filtered into photos with no cat. Click Test Run to check if the scheme works properly. If it's red, it's going up here. Okay, that's right. If it's not red, it's going down there. So input for that was just a false alarm, I suppose. Success! Right on, right on. Hey again. I've tried that expert system and it hardly makes any sense. Squares are floating left to right. Is that what the fuss is all about, machine learning? Are you guys actually working? Visual programming. Okay, so now we're learning terms. Yes, this is how it's supposed to work. The expert system analyzes your data input and checks if there's a cat on it. It's not what machine learning is all about. It'll get hardcore soon enough. Not very good at it yet, apparently. Obviously. When do I actually start building a cat translator? Don't rush it, friend. You gotta master your machine learning ninja skills first. I'll forward you some jobs that I don't have time for. It'll help you get on your feet and earn some cat bucks as well. Check your mail now. Doc Sagan, how are you doing here? Hold on, let me pop back on here. Now that we're past the camera scare. There we go. How are you doing, Doc? Nice to see you again. We're learning today. We're playing a little While True Learn. Learning all about machine learning, programming principles. Dr. Coder. Hey, that sounds like Doc Sagan. There's an auto help for each new technology. Very convenient. I've turned it on for you now. No need to thank me. But you probably want to change your password. MyCatTalks123 is pretty obvious. What? I had that for all of my accounts. Oh man, that's going to take a minute. Behold the task tree. The map of your progression in the game. Vertical progression stands for story quests. Horizontal branches are optional. Icon colors stand for different types of machine learning tech used in respective tasks. Sounds pretty simple? Okay, we'll say so. Applicants. Good day, we're from a public school. Okay, we got our first job. Our first programming job, you guys. Summer exams have ended. The results are attached to the letter. Could you process them and predict which of the students will be able to enter the MIT? The MIT? Yeah, we could do that. The other day you were playing a space game and I thought it was Elite Dangerous. Looking nice Star Wars. Yeah, it was Star Wars. That's right, Star Wars Squadrons. That was our last show on Thursday. That was pretty fun, even though I'm a little rusty behind the joystick. See the colorful geometric shapes. They represent various kinds of data. Numbers, letters, elements, etc. In the modern world, or in modern world, everything can be turned into data, and machine learning is all about sorting and interpreting data. See, despite being a puzzle game, I feel like I'm probably going to learn something through all this. Long story short, your goal in the game is to transfer data from the left part of the screen to the right. These bars show the minimum amount of data that needs to be processed to complete the task. Okay, 8 pieces of data. So we've got exam results. At least you weren't lost like in Elite. Yeah, at least I didn't get exploded and sent to space jail on account of blowing all of my heat sinks and getting arrested by the space cops. Still got to get back into Elite Dangerous. That game's super fun. I just don't know what to do to fill time on it, though. So maybe I'll probably end up spending more time off-stream playing it. But I would like to have it back on the show, sooner or later. Alright, so in order to filter this data, we need an expert system. It looks like we can change the values here. So if it's green, it's going here. If it's not green, it's going here. Test run. We've got a stopwatch, so this all has to be done within an amount of time. Is that the idea? We got this, right? We got this. One more. We'll beat that clock. Fantastic. Release the program to complete the task. Release. Hey, we got some Chivos there. Fantastic. Reward. Cat Cloud. What the heck's cat cloud? But we got 308 cat dollars. I'll take that. We're on our way. Alright, next task. Give me another one. That's too easy. Errors in database. We have some errors in our questionnaire data. We can't solve the problem by ourselves. Can you please fix it? I'm sure we can. Oh, the cat cloud is the hosting service or something. They said we're going to have to pay for servers. Looks like we have to pay so much per second. So maybe if we save it and ship it without testing, we'll get to keep more of our money if we're more confident in our ability. Talking about medals. Your efficiency is measured not just in money, but with medals too. I guarantee I'm going to be playing this game long after the stream's done. Whether we see it back on the show, I'm definitely going to be finishing this game. This is pretty good so far. Medals influence your story progression while boosting your self-esteem at the same... This is true. This is the important part. All about those medals. All about those chivos. To get a medal, your scheme has to meet the respective time and node limits. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay. You can improve your result later on. Trash can. A trash can node destroys elements. No matter how many trash cans you place, they will count for one node in the node limit. Okay. In the real world, real datasets have a lot of errors. Ain't that the truth, though? Filtering out errors is a very important skill for all data scientists. Oh, they even link you to articles and Discord servers. That's cool. Okay, what do we got to do here? What was the, let me go back here. Errors in our questionnaire data. Alright. Trying to get an idea for what it was we were supposed to be doing here. Okay, so we need 2 nodes, so I'm guessing they want us to use an expert system node and a trash can node. So here's what we do. Oh, maybe we don't even need a trash can node, because it looks like this is supposed to accept reds and greens. No, we would need a trash can node, right? So here's what they want us to do. If it's blue, we want it to go into the trash. And if it's anything else, i.e. red or green, we want it to go in there. All right. I'm confident that'll work. Save it. Can we ship it right away, or do we always have to test run it? Looks like we always have to test run it. Because I gotta test it for the time limit, that's right. Come on, fill it up, let's go. We're burning cat dollars here, we got server fees to pay. This is pretty straightforward programming at this point. Why did we only get 1 then? That's the question. Didn't we beat the, these requirements here? Alright, I'm not sure how those medals work then. But yes, we'll release it. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Doc. Yeah, aren't we doing good? Errors in database number 2. Alright, are we adding new nodes, new elements? It's us again. We found some new types of errors made by our users. Please update your program. It will be easier if you will use the previous version of the code. Alright, so we're going to get our non-neural artificial intelligence. Mankind has always been trying to create an artificial intelligence. Before the invention of neural networks, people used expert systems. An expert system is a deterministic algorithm which reproduces decisions of a real person. An example, this is Eliza, the very first chatbot in the world in 1966, wow. And talked with the patient using questions similar to real psychotherapists. It worked horribly, as one would expect. So custom nodes are special nodes containing your previously designed schemes. Press on the middle tab to switch to custom node list. All right. Drag the custom node, sorting the color red. to the workspace. Imagine losing in the tutorial, right? Not gonna happen. We're smarter than that. If you want to modify the scheme inside the custom node, double right-click on it, or press the down arrow icon on it. Okay, I see. So we can use previously built ones. Gotcha. Okay, so what's the idea here? They just want red. So the way this is set up now, if it's red, it's going here. Else, trash it. Give that a shot. That should be working proper. Yes, indeed. There we go. Oh, hold on. It's not number of medals you get. It's bronze, silver, gold. So we're getting the gold medal. We're doing real good. Filling up that trash can. I don't know if we're going to get the time limit on this one. Oh, but those reds are coming in pretty quick. There we go. Fantastic. Why are you poo-pooing my design here, Doc? We're doing great. We're doing fantastic. We're releasing that. We're getting paid 822 cat dollars. Or cat euros, or whatever that's supposed to be. Let's do some of these branching off ones. Tell me about optimization. Oh, decision trees. We gotta get started here first. How to recognize a cat in the picture. Hey, is there a way to detect the cat without using expert systems? I'm digging these cats. I was looking at some of the Chivos for this game, and one of the later ones was buy outfits for cats, so I think we can actually customize our cats and what have you. I think the game gets into some sort of like company management simulation later down the line. We'll see how it goes. It works for texts, but with pictures not so much. Furthermore, the cat just won't sit still. Isn't that the worst though? That it does not. Try decision trees. Those are like expert systems, but on steroids. Once you feel comfortable around them, try sifting. This little devil is way more effective with pictures. Also works nicely when paired with other algorithms. Or you can use nails or glue or something. Come on, it's just a cat. It won't fight it back. Please don't use anything I mentioned on an actual cat. Guys, don't use glue or nails or something on an actual cat. Processing time. Different nodes have different processing rates. Okay, so I was wondering about those little speed meters. This parameter will influence the efficiency of your schemes. Icons on the right indicate the amount of time required for a node to process one element of data. Okay, so the smaller the better. In the game, compares output parameters with the element color. If the color is equal to only one color, moves on to that socket. I mean, these are just very basic if then else statements. In the real world, decision trees is one of the basic machine learning algorithms. Each tree knows a limited number of classes. For each element, the tree asks some questions and chooses the class most similar, passes it down the line, sort of thing. And again, look at this. They link you to articles, videos. If you wanted to learn actual programming principles, this would be a great game to get into. What are you talking about, Doc? All right, we got to output into, okay, into multiple streams here. Let's see. Red and green go up here. Green and blue go down here. I see what they want us to do. So we could beat this with the node limit here. We could beat this with just one expert system. We could pass red into here, red would go up here, everything else would go down there. That would technically meet the requirements. This one can accept green, but it doesn't have to accept green. Otherwise, we could use this one here. It only filters red and blue though. But it's much quicker. Much, much quicker. Oh, and I can choose the colors on this. Okay, so hold on. This is a much better thing to do. Can I? Yeah, too many nodes. I know. Okay, we can choose those ones as well. All right. Time is money, or cat euros, yes. So I think we'll try these faster decision tree color separators. Here's what we'll do then. If it's red, it goes up here. If it's blue, it goes down here. Or rather, it gets passed to a... Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. So they don't count as the same class of node like the trash can one does. All right, so in that case, we do just have to do it like this. If it's red, it goes up top. If it's blue, it goes down below. Let's see how this runs. We might not ship it like this. Let's see how it runs. What happens to the green? Oh, green goes wherever it wants. That's interesting. That's not really intuitive. So in the absence of directionality, it just gets passed randomly? All right, I'll have to keep that in mind. That's not how I would usually expect it to work. Tell me about optimizing. We hope it's our last request. We've changed our database system. Can you update your code one last time? We need it to work faster. For 730 cat euros, absolutely we can. To decrease and increase speed, click a button on the screen, or use arrows or the AD buttons. Press space to pause. Okay, for testing. Gotcha. They want just red. All right. Well then surely... Oh, hold on, I see. I mean, it is just so much faster though. You pass 3 of these in the time it would take for one of these expert systems to work. So here's what we do. If it's red or it's blue, no, if it's green or if it's blue. Can we direct both nodes to a trash can? We can, okay, that's good to know. Because I might have to do that at a point. So there's no else with this one. With these decision tree nodes, okay. So I guess the easiest thing to do first of all is to divide it. If it's red, it gets passed to the second one. Both of these will separate like this. That should be faster than just using the expert system. Let's give that a try. So only the reds are getting through. The blues and the greens are getting filtered out. And presumably that's faster than using the expert system. Okay. Looks like we got it. We'll ship it. Bam. Some more money for customizing our cats. MedX. What is that supposed to be? Greetings. Our company is manufacturing all organic natural painkillers. They're used to decrease suffering, mood improvement, and coping with eating disorders. That sounds great. Known side effects, including dilated pupils, diarrhea, physical and mental addiction, are caused by the human factor. From time to time, our workers pick the wrong plants because they look like medicinal or medical herbs. We'd like you to design an algorithm that would sort herbs by petal colors. Oh, we can do that. We love sorting by colors. Okay. Red and green goes up here. Red and green also goes down here. Why do we have 2 different output streams for that? And then green and blue goes here. All right. We've got 3 different nodes to work with. How many different nodes can we attach and output? Okay, so it can only output to 1. But an input can take multiple inputs. Okay. They've gamified a bunch of it. Oh, but look at this. We can use our old stuff all of a sudden. Plus, a DLL editor. Hold on. DLL is basically a sandbox for schemes. Create them, apply them in tasks, experiment as you wish. See, this is much more programming-esque. Tomato Master, how are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. You guys, if you're not familiar with Tomato Master, let's go ahead and give a shout out here to one of our most recent fellow space streamers who just had their debut the other day. Doing fantastic work. Coding indeed. Tomato Master, there we go with the shout out. Trying to learn some things today. Playing a little While True Learn. Learning about machine learning, programming principles. It's been good stuff. Oh, and check that out, our latest and greatest Space Cadet. We're well on our way to this month's recruitment goals, you guys. Look at that. That'll be 183 out of our 190 goal. This game seems all about, yes, programming, learning, cats by extension. You can use almost all kinds of nodes and as many inputs and outputs as you see on the screen. Keep in mind that you only have 1 slot for DLL nodes by default. Go to the shop to get more. Okay, I'm sure they don't mean for us to use that right here, so let's back out of that. Oof. The game certainly is in depth, that's for sure. Alright, so how do they want us to do this one? We've got to separate data here. Thing is, we got to fill out all of these output streams. If we just have something that separates the reds and the greens, can we reliably send 19 nodes or packets of data to this one and 15 to this one, and then 16 of the greens and blues? We're gonna have to manage data here. We'll come back to this one. Let's try to finish up this little tutorial that we're on still. I think we're still on the tutorial at least. Alright, new job. Actually, hold up. What is all this other stuff we got here? We got stuff in our inbox. What am I missing? Seabay, what is this? Aloe does nothing. Okay, so we can decorate our office. I guess that's what this is. Entourage. Cat skins. Okay, here we go. This is what it's all about, right? Cheshire cat, two-flower cat, Viking helmet cat, cyborg cat, tank cats, towel cats, iron cat. Nice, nice one. Should we get some more cats? Get a cat, get a... Oh, what just happened? That just took me out of the game. Page appears to be missing. Well, let me click this one. This is actually sending me to legit links outside of the game. Alright, I'm not sure how this works. We're not going to bother with cats right now because it's actually sending me on a mission here. On a goose chase. Alright, let's proceed with this job here. I love games that make difficult concepts more approachable, right? So, I guess the only other game that's similar to this in concept that we've played is Baba Is You, which is like a language-based, not really programming game, but you could learn a lot of programming concepts from it. About manipulating language to complete word puzzles and stuff like that. The kind of nodes that they're setting up in this game here, I've got some teacher friends who have described this as sort of the way that they've been teaching programming concepts to young students in recent years. Whereas back in when I was in high school and university and learning about computer science and what have you, it was all very by the book, learning it as writing out script, like writing a programming language sort of thing. But I guess there's been a big move to try and make it more visual, try to make it more approachable, and that's probably good because it definitely seems like an easy way to learn the very basics. Right now we're learning about sift nodes. It compares shapes if the element shape matches the designated shape. Okay, so this is the same master comparison node, but for shapes instead of colors. Okay. Oh, Doc Sagan. So nice. A certified space ace, everybody. Well, Hector, we'll be busy having an asado with the family. Oh, well, you have a great time, Doc, and thanks for tuning in. I hope we get to see you again real soon. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. And you know what the best part about this, Tomato, is that every time they introduce like new game elements like this, like they've always got comparisons. In the game, here's how this works. In the real world, now we get the actual explanation. We're talking about scale invariant feature transforms. It's one of the most powerful non-neural algorithms for detecting features on pictures, which is essential for image recognition. And then they link you to articles, videos, they've got discords if you want to learn more about this stuff. So the game itself is like perfect for learning very basic programming concepts. Alright, I'm sure we can figure this one out. We want to filter out everything but triangles. So if it's a triangle, we're going to link it into the output. And if it's not a triangle, we're going to send it to the trash. So we'll do a quick test run so we can get our Chivos. Come on, get it done in 20 seconds. Look at all those resources, right? Just flowing. And bam, look at that, gold star. We'll ship it. 170 cat euros, don't mind if I do. Startups, working for the man feels too easy, boring, or soul-sucking? Aim for the sky and become a CTO of a startup. In the world of savage market laws, it's either sink or swim. Will you get rich or bite the dust? It's worth trying anyways. Yeah, I was pretty sure there was some sort of like corporate management aspect to this game as well eventually. Pizza Shack, what's this job? We're honored to invite you to join our startup, world's first AI-controlled pizza place. But our fingers are always stained with flour and we can't really code because of that. Help us write and implement an algorithm that would be capable to separate orders for round pizza from orders for square-shaped pizzas. Who orders square-shaped pizzas? Let's feed the people and become rich. All right, let's join this startup. Hey, more Chivos, fantastic. Startup scheme. A scheme created while working for a startup does not differ from any other, but there is no solution to the startup. A scheme just works better or worse, and your future profit depends on its quality. Ah, so now we get to make use of all of our talents here. We gotta go for peak efficiency. Gotta take a shower and do chores, but have a good stream. Tomato, thank you so much for tuning in and for joining our wonderful cast of Space Cadets. I hope we get to see more of you soon, and I hope I get to see more of your streams in the near future. You take care and you have a great rest of your weekend, alright? Alright, Space Cadets, let's separate some pizzas here. We gotta put round pizzas into round boxes, square pizzas into square boxes. Now, thankfully, we don't have to deal with triangular pizzas. Otherwise, this would throw us for a loop because we're only allowed one. Oh, you know what I just noticed? We've got the, all of the follower stuff up top here. It's cutting off the, some of the aspects of the game. Check that out. Now you can see, yeah, so they're asking us to do it all with just one node, and then up there is the cost of hosting this thing, apparently. But because we don't have to worry about triangular pizzas, we can just say if it's round, it goes up here. If it's anything else, it goes down here. Run it. Your program seems to be working fine. Further testing won't affect your results in the startup. Feel free to stop testing now. I'd love to stop testing it now. You're trying to design an AI-controlled pizza place that serves pizzas in round and square shapes. The scheme you're designing is the brain of the pizza robot. It sorts orders by the shape of pizzas that your clients order. Indeed. These are the users of your startup, in this case, your pizza restaurant. They've heard of a new amazing place in town, and now they want to grab a slice. Clients' orders. The millennials don't care too much about toppings, only shape matters. Yeah, we'll get more detailed as the game goes on, I'm sure. Mind the accuracy. If a client gets a pizza they've ordered, they'll pay you money and tell their friends about the place. If a client doesn't get what they want, they'll refuse to pay and don't expect them to return with friends. Look at this guy. Look how angry this guy is. One more thing, clients don't like waiting in queues, and they will leave with no hesitation. If your scheme is working slowly, the wait time will get longer. The market is constantly changing, so pay attention to what's going on and experiment with your schemes. And now it's time to launch your first startup. Release it. This action deploys the code to the servers. From this moment, the startup will work automatically. Launch. Hashin. Let's get to business. All right, we got new overlays now. This table is your principal source of information about your startup. Press Next Day button to proceed. Fantastic, only positive. When you switch to the next day, you get the money you've earned or lost, depending on how many users' requests were processed by your scheme. Look at this, we're doing so good. Users seem to like what your scheme's doing. They're even inviting friends. The cash is flowing. When hype icon is green, that means your startup is all over the news. Expect lots of new users. Fantastic. Look at this. We can just kick back and relax. No problem. So now it just becomes an idle clicker while we make pizza money. Time is passing by and the market changes. When hype icon is yellow, it means that your target audience is already aware of your startup. Don't expect many more users. Okay, so it does die down. Look at that though, almost 2,000 cat euros. When it's gray, that means that you've satisfied your target audience, users starting to leave. Watch your earnings carefully. When the number becomes red, it's time to cash out. Oh, see, getting lower, getting lower. Getting lower. Time to trade in our shares. Today your shares cost 2,200 cat euros. Are you sure you want to sell them and leave the startup? Yeah, let's get out of there. And look at that. We're rolling in dough. All right, let's see what other jobs we got here. Chicken escape. My name's Sarah. I own a small technology farm. Our distributors demand supplies of eggs of different kinds, and it takes a lot of time to sort them manually. That's why we've decided to automate the process. Very smart, very smart. We have all the data about egg parameters, but we need an algorithm which will work without human assistance and with high accuracy. You've come to the right place. Round eggs, square eggs, and triangular eggs, of course. So they want us to do this with 2 nodes. I'm pretty sure we can do that. We just do it like this. If it's round, it's going up here, else it's going down here. At which point we say if it's square, it's going in here, else it's going down here. Pretty easy. Do we have any previous? Only triangle. We edit this one. If it's triangle, it goes in here. Otherwise, it goes down there. No, we don't need to reuse that kind of stuff. It's not any faster, is it? No, 1.25 seconds. Nah, no faster. So let's save it. Let's run it. It should work perfectly as intended. A little slow compared to some of our previous designs, but This is the only node that we've got to work with right here. If ever we end up not meeting those timing requirements, we might have to try to play around with the DLL settings, which is an unexpectedly advanced concept for this early in the game. Launch complete. There, Silver Star. What happened? Time was right. 2 out of 9 nodes. Hold on, we were allowed to use 9 nodes? Why'd we only get the Silver Star then? What was the matter? Hold on, now it says 2 out of 2 nodes. What the heck is going on here? Try that again. Maybe that was just a bug. Let's speed this up. There we go. I forgot we could do that. All right, we're on time. We're doing good. Oh, it did go past the time limit. Huh, I see. I see. Maybe we can edit our scheme then. How else could we possibly change this up? If we go for a test run, square comes through first. Does that always happen? Square, round. Square, round, triangle. Okay. So why don't we try filtering that first? If it's square, we go here. Otherwise, we go to here. At which point round goes here. Let's give that a try. Could that be the slight improvement in speed that we need? Knowing how the eggs come out? In what order they come out? Come on, come on. Oh, we still get the silver. Darn. What can we do here to improve? Why do they even give us trash can node, now that I think about it? Look at the only triangle setup that we have here. Because this would technically count as just one node. That's sending everything that isn't a triangle into the trash. What's up, nerd? What's up, soul? Soul Train up in here. Nerd is right, we're learning stuff on a weekend. Can you believe that? Playing a little While True Learn programming simulator. We're learning about machine learning. What did you learn today, Soul? Anything? Anything? Nothing? Just wasting time? What you been up to? So if we were to use this previous design, it would take circles or squares or whatever. Let me experiment with this one. Let's see. My favorite chips are back. You learned that? Nice. Also learned stuff about Cammy, about your friend Cammy. I actually caught you and Goose playing Fortnite on your stream the other day for the first time. That game's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And yeah, Indy's up in here. Ain't that great? See how fast this runs. All right, now that is interesting. Ah, but here's another interesting thing. It doesn't just count as one node, does it? It counts as two because it's got a trash can built into it. Plus having multiples of them counts as having more. The game looks complex. Yeah, it is a little bit. I appreciate at least that it's visual. Helps from a streaming perspective. Learning with cats? Yes, exactly. We're learning about machine learning, how to differentiate cats from not cats. But in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is learn how to differentiate stuff like shapes or colors. Then we'll have all the cat dollars to buy all the cats. Alright, so let's try open up the DLL editor here. This will let us use just about anything. Problem is, I'm not 100% sure how this one works. We want to take output stream 1, output stream 2, output stream 3. Okay, hold on. So if we have input stream... Oh, Novaric S! Our latest and greatest Space Cadet. How are you doing? Didn't even see you there. Lurking in the shadows. In the darkness. I hope you're having a great weekend. How do you do? This game's too big brain for you, Soul? Nah, see, we gotta learn together. So the DLL editor is the most advanced part of it, and I keep jumping back and forth here just so I make sure I got the right handle on it. But I'm pretty sure we can use this to separate output stream, 0 to output stream 0, output stream 2, output stream 4. Okay. So if we make use of 3 SIF nodes, which first of all, I'm not even sure if it's gonna, how this is gonna count when we actually slot it into the, oh, is it gonna count as 3? Or does one DLL node count as just one node? Or does it count as all the nodes within that node? First person to ever get my name right? Really? Love your setup after watching an old video of yours, so I had to follow. Excusez-moi, sir? We got people who are just stumbling onto the Spaceman? I'm astounded. I'm flabbergasted. We'll say hello to everybody else that we got up in the chat today, some fellow virtual streamers that you might also want to check out. We've got Indigo Radio with us here, who's just going to get back into streaming, not this coming week, but the week after, in the very near future. Be sure to check out Indy. And of course, we got my good friend Hero King Soul, who also does programming here on Twitch. I hope you get to meet everybody. Everybody say hello to Novaric. We're glad to have you. We're learning a little bit today about cats and programming and what have you. So we want to filter like this. And then everything else goes to trash. Oh, it can only output to 1? That means we're going to have to do comparisons first. Alright. They almost had me there. But, now this might just be crazy enough to work. But we can still only do 1 output each. Okay. That means this couldn't possibly be any faster if we actually get it to work in the end, right? Let's see here. If it's round, it goes here, otherwise it gets passed here. If it's square, it goes here, otherwise it gets passed down again. And then it goes here, because that's what... It doesn't have to get passed down again, though. We don't have to pass it down to a third one, because if it's else at this point, then it just goes here. Alright, that's our DLL node. What do I got? Oh, do I have to save it within here? Darn it. That's what I forgot to do. But hold on, I might even not even have to do that. We can just do this live. We'll do it live. Goes here, otherwise it gets passed down. See, I'm sure this is what we had before. I'm sure this is exactly what we had before. We'll save it, we'll test run it. We'll speed it up. But we're not going to make the time limit for some reason. Look at that, 7 seconds, 5 seconds. See, we only get into the silver bracket. So let's try it with the DLL editor. It couldn't possibly make a difference. It would blow my mind if it made an actual difference in speed or anything else. Tell me how many nodes it counts as. It still counts as 2 because it copies whatever's in it. Okay. So that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. In fact, I would think that this would actually be slower. Let's give it a test run. Three, 2, 1, and nope, we roll right over into silver category again. Ridiculous. So unless I know... Well, I'll tell you what then. Since I know it's a lack of triangles that is holding us back, we'll prioritize sorting triangles. So we get those out of the way first and foremost. We'll work up, essentially. Just reverse what we had before. Give it the old test run. And that might do it. Yeah, gold star. There we go. That's ridiculous because really, I mean, it shouldn't be set every time. That's such a slim margin of error. I was able to get the gold star by memorizing which of those eggs in the test data set came out in which shape first. That's not a good way to program. You know, it's the exact same rate of efficiency, but ideally it would all be randomized anyways. Mang. Corey Ojo up in here. Yeah, we got some action in the chat. Corey, what are you doing tuning into a Sunday show while we're doing some programming, some machine learning? What kind of game is this? Well, that's exactly what it is. We are... Oh, look at that. Got some more Chivos. Fantastic. We are doing a little visual programming game called While True Learn, which introduces some pretty basic programming concepts. While at the same time, it has a story mode where we're trying to build a machine that'll allow us to communicate with our pet cat. We're taking on little odd jobs here. What was this one again? Hold on. What were we supposed to be doing on this one? Let me check my inbox. Greetings. Our company is manufacturing all organic natural painkillers. They are used to decrease suffering, mood improvement. Well, not they used to. They are used to decrease suffering, mood improvement, and coping with eating disorders. Side effects are caused by the human factor. So we got to design an algorithm that'll sort by colors. Pet kitty. I'm not even sure that we can. We should find out. That's an integral part. Oh, yo, if you click the cat. It meows, you guys. These developers really did their homework. They went all the way. Alright, so we have got to, with a node limit of 3. Again, we keep getting cut off by some of our stuff here. Latest followers in the way. Yeah, so you can see we've got a node limit of 3, which means we got to use 3 or fewer nodes in order to get our gold star, and you know we'd love to get those Chivos. In order to separate out all of these here colors. Color data. You can die happy. Glad to hear it. How's your weekend been? Did you have a good time? Get up to anything fun? See some friends? Do some stuff? Alright, how to separate these out here? Well, what we do know is that if it's blue, it's going straight to here. And if it's anything else, or you know what? That might not be right. That might not be right. Because any doesn't mean else. It's been busy, nothing interesting. Good food though. How's your weekend? Yo, good food is right on though. I had the god dang best donburi that I've ever had last night. Jetted back down Earthside, met up with a couple of friends, went out for dinner. It was a fantastic time. Fantastic weather. Don't you know we love the seasonal changes around this time of year? Also haven't watched any trash TV lately, and my brain isn't mushy enough now. Well, you gotta get it back in shape. You gotta pound it back into that, you know, that paste that it deserves to be. I remember you were talking about it on one of your shows the other week. That new season of, what is it? The 90 Day Fiancé. I watched the first episode, just so I'd know what you were talking about, but I haven't gone back to watch any more after that. I've been slacking as well, I can't lie. Soul says had a movie marathon yesterday. Nice. What were you guys watching, Soul? Anything good? Some classics? We'll do a test here. Does any get compared after blue? Let's do a test run. If I see any blue get filtered into here. Okay, so blue is getting filtered into the trash. We don't want that. Any does not mean else. Ready Player One, Free Guy, The Fog, and Legend. Oh, The Fog. Is that the one where they're stuck in the fog? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? It's like they're like stuck in a grocery store or something, and it's surrounded by fog. It's like a Stephen King thing. No, not that. I'm thinking of something else. I haven't seen Free Guy. I've seen Ready Player One though. It's a fog going to an island with ghosts instead of monsters. Okay, all right. Scary fog, though. Same idea. Same premise. You like Ready Player One? I think Ready Player One is kind of ridiculous. I mean, that's like that's trash novel, if there's an equivalency. That's like something you pick up in an airport. But I get why it's popular, though. Like, it's indulgence for indulgence's sake. Luna got sad from Ready Player One? Why? Literally spent 12 hours on call to watch movies. Well, that seems like a good use of time. That's a solid day if you ask me. So I think what we'll do first is we'll filter out blues. If it's blue, it's going here. Otherwise, we'll actually start doing comparisons. This is the only one that can take blue. After which point, we just make any comparisons. They can fill up any which way they want. Let's give it a test run. Problem is, we've only got so much data here. Is it actually going to get filtered equally? Is it going to get evenly distributed? Launch failed, ran out of time. The answer is no. Corey says, gotta work on some stuffs, but I'll be lurking. I'm so appreciative. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, Corey. You have a good Sunday. We'll see you again soon. Take care, Queen. Alright, so is this another one that I have to scam it based on knowing which one of these come out first and at what rate they're going to come out? And also, can we do this without using expert system? Because it's 3 times slower than our decision tree color comparators. Technically, we can use these to filter randomly anything that isn't specifically designated, so we may not need the expert system. So if it's blue versus red, let's say. If it's blue, we know it's going here. And this will technically filter in red or green. So this one here needs to, our second one needs to actually filter the red and the green, is what I think. James Halliday was such a sad nerd. Aren't all nerds sad nerds, though? Like, not calling him trash, but he had a sad ending, what with all his regrets. He played like the exact same, that actor. I've seen him on Silicon Valley, and I think he was in another movie too where he plays like a tech guy. Like he's great for that role. So here's the thing, this will technically accept green as well. We should plug that right in here. So blue and green are going to get filtered through here. Red and green are going to get filtered through here. So at that point, I can just say any can go here, any can go here. That might be the most efficient way to do this, and we'll see how it goes. It's certainly the quickest. Let's give it a save. Let's give it a test run. Zipping around. Here we go. Filling it up. Oh, we're going to run out of time. Oh, no, gold star. Check that out. New Chivo. Don't mind if I do. Look at that with 0.8 seconds to spare. Ship it. All right. Now I've got a special bonus one here. Crowd psychology. What are we going to learn about here? Basic machine learning. Good day. Our company is making a research on crowd psychology. Making a research. This game had to be developed by like some European country. There's a noticeable accent in the writing. Is making a research on crowd psychology. We need an algorithm which would be capable of defining a person's type based on certain behavior patterns. This way, we will be able to quickly identify dangerous individuals in the crowd and prevent unpleasant accidents. We're doing Minority Report stuff now. We have identified the parameters to work with, but we need an experienced developer to write the algorithm. Well, you come to the right place. If you're looking for experienced developers here, let's go. You're doing great. Thanks, Indy. I'm glad you're enjoying watching the show. What is this? Private letters. Oh, private letters. Oh, we won't show those then. Let's proceed with crowd psychology. Have you got any background in computer science or programming or anything like that, Indy? I'd be very surprised if Sol does. But with you, I think I could believe it. right, we need to distribute colors and shapes. Ah, fun. So we're gonna have to use a lot of trash cans here. So first things first, if it's green... Oh no, but this takes red squares as well. Okay. Alright, never mind that. If it's triangles, it gets its own comparator. At some point, at least. At some point. Or maybe early on, because... How many triangles have we got here? We got a lot of triangles here. So we really should prioritize comparing triangles v everything else. No, but I really enjoy organizing things meticulously. That's programming right there, is organizing things meticulously. You roasting me? Ah, just a little bit though, just a little bit. Just a little, a singeing, a braising, a grilling. To learn this stuff out of spite. Soul's gonna become the next Mark Zuckerberg. It's just because I made fun of him. And then you'd have to talk like a robot man. So if it's a triangle, we are going to make a comparison. Which is that if it is green... do we have to make two? Two of these? No, we don't. We don't. Maybe we should compare color first. Green goes here, blue goes here, which means technically they're both going to accept red stuff. Which is fine, I guess. I'm sure we'll get a better node eventually down the place. Don't tempt me, homeboy. You're gonna create my space. Soul space, yeah, exactly. Soul train. Any, but any is not else. We've already learned this. So green is going to accept red. But if it is actually green and not red, red goes somewhere else. But if it is green and it is triangle, then it's going to go into here. Otherwise, it's going into the bin. Green triangles go here. This sort of node-based programming has gotten much more popular in recent years. Like, I know there's the Unreal Engine uses a lot of stuff like this. There's certain aspects of the Unity engine that can be set up to work like this. Different editing software and what have you. So it does feel familiar. Solo space. Solo space, because it'll just be you. Right? That makes sense. For loners like me. Okay, we're on the same brain length there. Alright, so if it's blue, we gotta send it up here. I'm using too many nodes already. We gotta start breaking it down. They're gonna give me 43 seconds to compare all of this, too. It's gonna take forever. No, it hurts more when you say it. You lost your kneecap privileges? Come and get them. I don't need them. I float around. What do I need kneecaps for? I don't gotta bend my legs. Yeah, wheels! I'll just spin around on my wheels. My space wheels. So the solution to this one is definitely going to be all about breaking down what goes where and when. We know that there's no blue stuff here. We know that there's no green stuff here. So maybe we should do colors first. Maybe that should be our first differentiation. You're even bald, Professor X, you're even bald? Says who? Says who? One of these days I'm going to take off this helmet and it's just going to be long, flowing locks. Then you'll feel silly. Yeah, that'll show you. That'll show you. Alright, so we can use 2 decision color trees to effectively say what color is what. Or I guess it's 3, technically. Technically. If it's green or red, it goes here. And then we can differentiate between green and red. If it's blue or red, it goes there. Then we can differentiate between blue and red. Can I still... Oh, I can select multiples at the same time. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, game. That already uses up half of our node limit, because we can only use 6 nodes here. You know what? I should really have these reversed. I should have blue going up here and green going down here, because that's actually where these are going. Green and red goes down here. Blue and red goes up here. Okay, that actually saves me a step then. But if it's blue or red, it goes up here. If it's green or red, it goes down here. I don't even need to separate these to begin with. I don't even need these nodes. Throw them in the garbage. So if it's blue or red, it goes up here, at which point this only takes a select number of things. It doesn't take triangles. So if it's a triangle, it goes in the garbage where it belongs. Otherwise, it goes through. No, not else. There we go. Yeah, crisscross. Like that, say. It does feel good to organize these all nice and meticulously. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. So if it's green or red, it goes down here. Now we really have to use the rest of our nodes to differentiate this stuff. So we might need a second color tree. A green-red color tree. If it's green and red, so if it's green and it's a triangle, it goes through. If it's red and it's a square, it goes through. Otherwise, put it in the bin. Trash it. So that's 6 nodes. That's all we've got space for. Is it going to be timely, though? I feel like all these comparisons, especially these ones, take a second, 1.25 seconds each. It's going to take a minute. Pups, how you doing, Mrs. Pups? Are you having a fine weekend? Are you having a fantastic Sunday? Are you enjoying your afternoon, this beautiful May afternoon? Hope things are nice and warm and sunny wherever you're at. Welcome to the show. Join the cast of characters we've got here today. We've got a little action in the chat this afternoon. We've been talking back and forth as we try to learn some programming principles of machine learning with the game While True Learn. A pretty cool visual programming game. Trying not to melt in the heat. Yeah, I feel that. There have been some great days for bike riding this week. I like to go out cycling as often as I can. But there's definitely prime hours for it. I gotta give it that. Where you go out right when the sun's up and you may as well just be cycling in a furnace. It's rough. It's rough. All right, we're gonna save this design. We're gonna do a test run of our weird minority report crowd psychology task. And we're gonna see these go through. Can we actually get this done in the next 20 seconds? No, because look how slow this is to fill up here. I'd be very surprised if we hit it. No, look at that. Bronze. Bronze medal. What the heck is that? We're gonna have to improve on our design here. Alright, let me do another test run, see where it's slowing down here. Let's slow things down here and let's take a look. Green and reds go down below. Blue and reds go up top. We're comparing if it's a circle or a square. If it's a triangle, we throw it in the bin. If it's anything else, we let it pass through. Now let me watch the bottom part. What's slowing us down here? It's all these comparisons, yeah? We're only letting in green and red. Red squares, green triangles. So the bottom half of our program is actually doing really well. We test run that again. Within the 30-some seconds that we got left here, do we actually get our third output finish? Yeah, this gets done within gold star time limits. So it's our upper comparators here that are slowing us down. What could we do to speed that up? That is the question. This is going to be another thing where you have to look at so the amount of red squares and red circles. This is going to be about knowing the data beforehand again, which is a scummy way to actually do these problems. Because in any actual programming environment, you would be expecting random data sets. Or not set data sets like this that are always coming out at the exact same rate for our testing purposes. We're asking, is it a triangle? And if it is a triangle, we're sending it to the trash. To me, that seems the most efficient way to do this. But if we instead ask, is it a circle? And then say, okay, if you're a circle, go right through. Else, do another comparison. Is it a square? If it is a square, go right through. Otherwise, go to trash. Otherwise, like this. Add an extra step. Test run that for me. How fast is that? Couldn't possibly be quicker, right? Might be a little quicker because we're doing more comparisons at the same time. So that took us 48.5 seconds. As compared to our original design, which took us how long exactly? $47.3 seconds. So it was quicker to do it my original way. All right. So in that case, what it's telling me is that the way to increase efficiency here is to filter out shapes earlier? Is that the idea? Do we get that all done at the head of the program? Because what we know is, if it's a triangle, it's never going up here anyways, regardless of what color it is. Let's try a new design. We know we can beat this. We know we can get this done. At bronze tier, if we really wanted to, you know, lower our expectations for ourselves. So here's the thing. If it's a triangle, it's going down to here, to some other comparison. If it is not a triangle, then it's going up here. Down here we will say if it is... Now this is rough because... Now do we have to do our color differential? If it's red or it's blue, it's going up here. So we can say if it's red or it's green. Then we'll take red and blue. This will take red and blue. This will take blue and green, which is not great. So we do like this. Blue takes blue and red, green takes green and red. Right. That'll save us. So maybe we just throw all... If it's green, it goes down here. I'm thinking, is there a way to throw out everything triangle-wise that isn't green? What's the best way to do that? Because that's just going to gum up our comparators at some point. Waste time. If it's a triangle, so everything else gets compared. Oh man, this one is a little tricky, huh? Plus I got this kalimba going in the background, or whatever this is, this little xylophone. Like it's plinking right on my brain. We're gonna figure this out though. That I guarantee. Starting to second guess my original design here now. So this could feed right in here. That would be completely fine. That only uses up 2 nodes. Plus, this can feed into here. That's perfectly fine, yeah. But, oh, hold on. We have to make other comparisons first. Because we have to filter out squares. And this has to be used to filter out red, green. Hold on. So everything else gets passed up here if it's not a triangle. But if it is a triangle, we got to pass it to here. Say, okay, are you green? Then we got to use 2. We got to use 2 of these. Seems a little wasteful, now that I think about it. Plus we gotta have a trash can here to get rid of stuff that we don't want. No way! Hold on. Maybe we don't need a trash can. Maybe we could just recursively send data to the back of the stack. don't know if that would work. We'll have to find out. That's not great programming practice, but it might work. It might work. Because inputs can take multiple inputs, right? Right? Yes, that is right. Okay. There are what? How many of each do we have here? 40 triangles, 20 circles, and only 23 squares. So the triangles really are like a huge issue. They got to be filtered out right away. So maybe this is going to be the answer. All right, so green. This is going to send green squares and circles. We know that green squares and circles can go right into the trash. We want red squares in both of these. So maybe we should do 2 shape comparisons right after one another. Is it a square? No, but why would we need that? Why would we need that? Why would we need that? Why would we need that, Ellie? Why would we need that at all? It's Ellie of the Nova Swarm, you guys, tuning in and becoming our latest certified space ace. How you doing? Hope you're having a great Sunday. You've caught us in the midst of a brain teaser. We're playing a little if true or while true learn today. And while it is true, we are still trying to learn. We're separating colors and shapes, very rudimentary programming principles. Just got out of bed? Oh, well, this is the perfect thing to wake up to. The perfect kind of brain teaser. Learning about machine programming, cat facts, and what's more, spending time with friends of the show. At any rate, then, enjoy your Sunday if you're just getting out of bed. Make sure you have a big old breakfast. I mean, it should only be... just getting a bit... or lunch, I suppose, depending on what time it is where you're at. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Pups. What's up, space people? What is up, pups? Now we got the whole family pups up in here. Not to mention Ellie, not to mention Indy, not to mention Soul, not to mention... Man, we are getting a whole lot of visitors today. It's fantastic. I should ask... I asked Indy a little earlier, we were talking. Ellie, do you have any programming experience? Pups, do you have any programming experience? Anybody up in here? Oh, you do you? That's great. Study it in school or something like that? Or like a, just a hobby? I know I've said it before that I used to study computer science back in school, but not like this. Not in a visual sort of way. It'd be a lot more straightforward for me to just write out something. I gotta deal with all this rigmarole of their puzzle game sort of dealio. I learned Python back in high school. Okay, right on. And a little more during college. They taught us Scheme during university, during a bunch of our intro courses. I don't know why we're still using that. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that filtering out triangles is the key, because we got a whole lot of junk data here that we don't need to pass into any of these outputs. I may be learning. I like coding, says Indy. Yeah, like it's great to pick up. I'd recommend I'd recommend Python or JavaScript as like easy to get into languages. The stuff you'd pick up, the sort of basics from those languages would be really easy to apply to something like C#, which gets used pretty extensively nowadays in game dev and stuff like that, because the Unity engine uses C#. I'm not sure if they use it much in the Unreal Engine, but it's becoming pretty popular. I've been meaning to learn JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript's great. They used to have an offshoot of JavaScript called ActionScript, which got used in for all the anytime you'd have interactive stuff in like a Flash game or Flash video or something like that. That was ActionScript. That was the offshoot of JavaScript that they built for the Adobe platforms, or the Macromedia at the time Flash platform. So I had to learn myself a little bit of that back in the day. Yeah, the good old days, Flash. JavaScript, CSS, and HTML are used for Twitch things, which would be the most I'd want to do with it. I didn't know that. I'm not surprised that Twitch uses JavaScript, but CSS and HTML? Like for your little panels or something, maybe? Oh yeah, I also learned programming for Flash. Yeah, so same sort of thing. You'd recognize a lot of the same syntax for JavaScript from that. Plus, JavaScript is like so widely used. It's just great to at least get a handle on. But honestly, like, if you get comfortable with one programming language, it's going to be applicable to most programming languages. Because between languages, you find a lot of the same syntax when it comes to statements and arguments and what have you. It's just good for you. It's like learning a real second language. I always thought that, like at my school, we had to take a secondary language as a graduation requirement, like at least 1 year of a secondary language. And I always thought it would be great if they could count a computer science course as a secondary language course. Because it's arguably much more applicable to get yourself versed in a programming language than something like Spanish or French or something like that, depending on what you want to do in the future. And you probably get a lot more people interested in it. I thought it'd be a good idea. So this right here, let's watch this in action. This is going to send all of our... This is going to fill this in perfectly. Hey, what happened? Oh, did we get gummed up? Can that actually happen here? I see, is this like data backup? Is that what it is? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, hold on. Hold on. There we go. So this is going to pass everything we want up into here. This side of our comparator is completely done. But it's just so slow. Like, look at that again. We're going max speed here. Once it gets up here, it compares real quick, that's fine. But we gotta filter 22 of these items in. We gotta have faster comparison, because look, we're running out of time here. If you want custom alerts or chat box... Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. Like, you'd use that stuff for... Yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff that you, like, drag and drop into OBS and in order to read from the chat and things like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, that would use CSS and stuff like that. Absolutely right. Alright, so clearly we don't want to be comparing shapes right off the bat. Our earlier design was definitely the better one. So we're going to make a color comparison. Green and red are going to go down here. Blue and red are going to go up here. At this point, we ask ourselves, are you triangle? If yes, go to garbage. If not, welcome on in. And that we should be able to see if we do another test run. That'll fill this up much faster, yes? Why is this getting stalled out? Because it's doing a comparison? Because stuff's moving? Ran out of time and low accuracy. Why was that getting gummed up? What's the problem here? Is it just sending it more than it can? Oh, look at that, see? It literally doesn't have enough time to compare. We've got a long waiting line going on here. Okay, okay. That's interesting. How are we going to surmount this task? Are you allowed to increase the speed with that second thing? The seconds thing. I can increase the... So this is just the test speed, like I can slow it down or speed it up for testing purposes. That's telling us how much time it takes to do each comparison. So that's taking 1.25 seconds for every input that's coming in. It takes that long to do a comparison. So when this one says 0.3 seconds, yeah, that's not something that we can switch around. That's just telling us how long it'll take to pass through 1 point of data. No, I can't change that, unfortunately. Alright, so our color comparator is working so efficiently that it's actually screwing up our shape comparison here. Which is normally not a problem, or what I would consider to be a problem. So green and red is going to get passed down here. Problem is, at a point, I'm going to have to compare these ones as well to say, are you a triangle down here? Are you a square down here? Or no, really what I should be asking is, are you a circle down here? Because we don't take circles. Would this work? Let's see. If you're a circle, obviously you're getting sent to the bin. Otherwise, you're going to get passed through. That's fine. Then I feel like I'm going to have to do another color comparison. Are you red and a triangle? See, there's no and condition that we can work with right here. It would be real easy to say if triangle and then sort it into a second thing which doesn't take triangles. Or if triangle obviously goes to this one because it doesn't, this top one doesn't take triangles. And then if red and square, where you gotta hit both requirements, you know, sure, come on in. Else, go to the trash where you belong. But unfortunately, I also can't use these as like independent, like method calls. I can't apply a single point of data and get a return. This gosh darn game. And now I've forgotten what our original construction looks like. Because we had a working one before I tried to improve on it, and now I can't remember what it worked like, or what it looked like. Gotta go, but have a great stream. Oh, thanks, Soul. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care, bud. Oh, and you guys, you know what? We're going to be spending some time with Soul this coming week. He's going to be hosting a Goose Goose Duck session over on his channel. We're going to be taking part in that. So look forward to it. We'll see you soon, Soul. All right, we're gonna go. Oh, check it out, you guys. All right, let's pause for a second here. We gotta make sure that we give props, that we give shoutouts, that we give proper respect. Oh, almost bit my lip there. To Ellie and the Nova Swarm. Re-upping on their VIP status. There you go, there you go. VIP for the month of May. So circles obviously go to trash. We only need to take 18 points of data out of this. Are we about to be real scummy and try to cheat this? Oh, hold on, hold on. No, okay. No, I was about to say, okay, could we pay attention to the rate at which these comes out? Because this is the silliest part about this game, is that our test pool of data always stays the same and always comes out at the exact same rate. We've actually beaten earlier missions, jobs, whatever, by actually paying attention to what comes out in what order so that we can more efficiently sort it. Like, it's kind of scummy. Darkwing the Invader, my beautiful spaceman, how are you? I'm doing fine, Darkwing. Hope you're having a fine weekend. Haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you've been well. So nice of you to drop on by. I hope you're having a fine weekend. Or what's left of the weekend. Today, we are learning a little bit about machine learning with While True Learn. Little visual programming simulator. Finally get to catch a stream again. I've been well, buddy, and I'm glad to hear it. Don't you know we appreciate each and every one of you guys who tunes in? Big shout out once again to everybody who's joined us here today. I didn't think this was going to be a very busy stream. It turns out I was wrong. I should say, guys, I had mentioned it at the top of the show, but I know not everybody was around to hear it, that we are not going to see as much of the Spaceman in the coming weeks. In fact, next week we're only going to have one stream, which is on next Sunday, and then we're going to be having 2 collab streams over on Hero King Soul's channel when we're playing Goose Goose Duck. We're going to be taking more time off to work on our updated live 2D model. What's new in your world? Well, this is kind of the explanation. For a while now, I've been working on an exaggerated, an upgraded version of the Vector Spaceman live 2D model. So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, trying to get that done while also streaming at the same time has not been working out as well as I would have liked. It's been taking a lot longer than I had initially planned. So I'm going to be taking some time. Yeah, Spaceman 2.0, exactly. But if we ever want to get that done, if we want to get that finished this year, then I got to actually buckle down and spend some time on it. The limited free time that I have to work on it gets eaten up pretty quickly by our usual streams. Yes, I was wondering what was going on with the Live 2D. Still excited for you? Yeah, I mean, I've shown off a little bit of it to select persons, and I've gotten some pretty good feedback on it of what is there so far. It's definitely a step up. Definitely a step up technically compared to what we got right now. Because look at me. I'm a nice looking spaceman. Let's get it straight here. This model's pretty sweet. For what it goes for the aesthetic that we've got here on the show, this takes the cake. This delivers. This pays the bills. This does everything we could ever hope for. I move around, I move back and forth, my head swivels, but you notice there's some odd, little details about it. Like technically, when we turn our heads, like what are those little caps over the side of the temples there on the side of my head? They don't really turn properly, do they? There's no dimension to them. The only thing that really sells it is the ear caps, the little circles on the end of those. When I move back and forth, they actually rotate properly. So you get an illusion of 3D movement here. But really, the microphone that's hanging off the side there, that sort of moves proper, but most of the motion on the present model is just kind of squishy, I guess. It doesn't really sell real depth, I guess you would say. And that's what I'm trying to improve on with this next, Spaceman 2.0, as it were. So that's gonna be the idea. I'm gonna buckle down, I'm gonna work on that, and hopefully we'll get it done within the next few weeks. At the cost of a few fewer shows. Question, is the 18 and 22 the amount of all shapes needed for those outputs? Yeah, so this has a, output 1 here has a occupancy or capacity of 22, which means it needs to take in 22 of these. And this needs to take in 18 of these by the time the time runs out, which, if we're shooting for gold star, means 43 seconds. So I've been thinking, like, is there a way to streamline which ones come out first so we can funnel these in? Because our earlier, tests showed us that we couldn't get everything in here filled up within the... like, for example, if I go like this, if we do another test run, if we max speed it here. All right, so everything's coming through. In the 33 seconds that we have, like, we only get, like, about halfway of what we want. Or, no, we're getting close, but, yeah, still not quite there. We end up with bronze, if anything, but we actually launched because we didn't work on the bottom half of it. So we get close, but... there must be some faster way to sift through it all, right? Would putting a sift if triangle go down, else shapes go up work? If triangle go down here, else everything else... oh, so hold on, let me see here. So you're saying, with putting sift if triangle go down, else other shapes go... okay, so put the sift as the very first thing we do, you mean? We did experiment with that, and we found that it was actually 1 point something seconds slower. Because it's actually quicker to compare by color and then send stuff on its merry way than to take everything, like... comparing by color takes 0.3 seconds, whereas comparing by shape takes 1.25 seconds. So, almost, or over 4 times as long. So if you do this as the very first thing, then, yeah, it gums up the comparison. So we're actually just trying to get back to our original design, which only got us a bronze star, but at least it got us, completing the level. But yeah, that was my first attempt to improve it as well, was, okay, obviously there's no triangles up here, there's no circles down here. Could we not do a comparison right off the bat to try and differentiate them that way? But let's see what happens if we do. Let's show off what happens here. If we try to separate by shape, and we might have to do 2 of these. If we say, alright, if it's triangle, we're going down here. If it's everything else, it goes up here. At this point, then we start differentiating by color. So we want to go red and blue, green and red. So we want to put blue here, we want to put green here, so it'll take blue and red, green and red. So if it's triangle, it goes down. All right, maybe we're onto something here. Let's see. If it's a triangle, it goes down. Triangle goes down here. Then we gotta separate by color. See, here's what I was about to say, and this is why I was looking at these numbers earlier. We gotta get 18 pieces of data into here. There's... Now hold on. We gotta get 18 pieces of data down here. There are 20 green triangles in this data set. So if we really wanted to, we could not even worry about anything but green triangles. We could just turn this into the green triangle zone. That's why I was counting these up earlier. Which doesn't seem like a good way to teach programming. To completely ignore your objectives in favor of getting Chivos on a video game, but it might work. It might actually work. So then we would have to decide, all right, if it's triangles, go down here. Fine. In theory, it should be teaching you programming or machine learning, is the idea. Yeah, it kind of uses a visual programming design to it, which has gotten more popular in recent years. All methods of thinking of programming, yeah. Cutting corners. Skirting objectives. Well, if the first thing we do is divide by shape, then down here we have to make a color comparison. So we have to say if it is red or... Because this will be... Because it's... We don't have an either or we don't have an or color comparator, because it would take much longer as well. So we gotta double them up. So if it's red and blue, so if it's red or blue, it's going to the trash. If it's green or blue, it's getting passed in here. If it's blue, it's going to the trash. If it's green, it's getting passed into here. Okay, so that should take care of our green triangle dealio. It might be a little slow at the start, but we'll see if that becomes an issue when we get there. At this point, all we would have to do is compare color again. And we could do that with 2 nodes. So if it's not a triangle, it's going up here, crisscross. Whoop, there we go. So if it's red or green, or no, here's what we do. If it is red or blue, it's green or blue. All right, we are going to have to make 2. No, we're not going to have to. We're not going to have to. But we'd have to commit some of them to the trash if we only want one of these nodes. So what do we want? Do we want quicker comparison, or do we want to trash even more of this data? Interesting game indeed. Indeed, indeed. Top circuit needs 2 color nodes that sort the green into the trash. See, that's what I was thinking, but now I'm trying to count how much data we got here. Can we actually sacrifice some like we were doing before? Because this is going to pass us every color, and then we're only going to be able to filter it by 2. Like, we have a limit of 6 nodes. So we're within limit right now. We definitely could do it like this, like we have down here. That's no problem. I'm just saying if there's any way that we can make this any more efficient. If we... It might be... It might work. It might work. Because look at this. If we're passing through red and blue into here, that's going to send all the red and about half of the blue. That might be enough. So if we sacrifice about half of our blue data, it'll make it more accurate trashing the green. Well, the green definitely has to get trashed. Yeah, we can't let any green into here. But I'm saying I think we only have to let about half of the blue in order for us to meet the requirements, quote unquote, of this occupancy limit here. Again, it's a goofy way to program something, but it might be what it takes to meet the gold star requirements of the game. So let's save that and let's give it a run. Again, it's all going to be about how much time gets eaten up at the beginning here. At the very least, I think we've stumbled onto the real key to this level, which is to sacrifice a whole lot of data. And look at that. Yeah, just so slow. Ran out of time. So in that case, do another test run. Yeah, it's just because of... Yeah, look at it all getting backed up here. Why does it take so long? There it goes. The more nodes we pass it onto, the faster we can get stuff processed? Is that the idea here? Is that what they're trying to tell me? Let's follow this red. Gotta go straight to the trash. Yep, this one. Man. So look at that. If we had about double the time, we'd be fine. But therein lies the problem, right? So that's why I think color becomes the first thing that we sort out. For whatever, yeah, our earlier ones were just so much faster. But now we know that there is a lot that we can sacrifice straight to the trash. And perhaps still accomplish what we want here. This was a good design, Ellie. I thought this was a very good design. I wanted it to work. The game just doesn't believe in us. Alright, so we know that we want red and blue to go up top. We know that we want red and green to go down below. So we sort it out like this. Then that's going exactly where we want it, color-wise. This will take green and red, that'll take blue and red. Now to fill in all the extras. See, here would be where we put a... If it's a triangle, get rid of it. Otherwise, let it through. And then this top one would be perfect. That's fine. It can take everything but triangles. If we do a little test run on that, though, let's see this work. Are we actually going to get enough through? Look at it. It's getting gummed up here. Not passing through enough data. What is the deal there? I'll tell you what, maybe let's try messing with the DLL editor again. Is there anything we can use here that would aid us? Let's see. No, because they still give us the same tools. What if you have the blue-green? Let's go back here. What if you have the blue-green sort into a red-blue, and then sort triangles out of both of those? Okay, sort into a red-blue. So that is what happens here. So because we don't have red declared on this, the red just gets passed sort of at random between the both of them. So green and red goes down here, blue and red goes up here. So our blue and red goes up here, and that does sort out the triangles. That's what is happening up here at this point. Problem is, you can never be sure that this one isn't stealing all of our red squares, because that fills up a lot of this output. This 22, if we could get most of those going up here, that would actually be pretty great. That kind of gives me an idea, Ellie. We're sending green and red down here. And we really only need green triangles down here. You know what we could do? We could actually pass everything else that's red back up here after we've already filtered out the stuff that we need down here. Do ourselves a little test run here. Oh, whoops. Look at this. We could send this back up top once we filtered out the red. So really, we're just saying, all right, if you're green and you're a triangle, you're going down here. Everything else, go up to a to another comparison. We don't even have to send it through here. We could send it right to the end, because we already know it's not a... Oh, we don't know that's not a triangle. That's true. So we'd send it up there. And I suppose that needs to go to a trash. Let's test that out. That's really getting jammed up here, though, isn't it? Look at that. What's causing the delay down here? I mean, that got it in time. 47.3 seconds. You might be able to get away with using the last sift to help the jam. Yeah, because we've got one more node that we can use here in our limit. And putting all of them to triangle. Maybe I don't know what you mean by that. you might be able to get away with using the last sift to help the jam. Let's see where that jam is again. Okay, okay. Yeah, so what if we use another one? This is ridiculous setup here, but let's give it a shot. Get sorted. Oh, it's close, it's close, it's close. Ah. Ran out of time. Wait, ran out of time. What happened? Oh, we have to filter everything. We have to get... It's not just about filling up the capacity. It's about getting all this data sorted within that time limit. I see, I see, I see. So how much do we actually have left to sort by the time we hit the end of our run here then? So by the time we're sitting at like 10 seconds here, everything's out of the data pool, but a lot of it's still being sorted. 2 seconds, 1 second to go. 5, 4, 3, 2. So it's all getting caught up in here, is what it looks like. We get a huge backlog of data in here, which goes blue and red. And then getting sifted. Sifted. Okay, we're on the cusp of greatness here, though. Because we had it a second ago. We were at least finishing the level. Maybe it'd be more efficient to have each sift dedicated to sorting one color. That's what I was kind of just thinking. Like, can we fit another one in here? This is taking blue and red. Green and red. Then we're splitting. So the problem is, we haven't got room for... Unless we get rid of the trash can. See what happens when we do that. That's going to gum up something, I'm quite certain. But here, we can actually differentiate the red and the blue that gets passed through here. We're making a proper tree at this point. Is it? Why can't you have the trash can? Because the trash can counts as a node, and that puts us over our limit. Sorry, let me show you here. It keeps getting covered up. If we take out, bam, up in the corner here, you can see we got a node limit that we're supposed to be paying attention to, depending on what level of success we're aiming for. Otherwise, yeah, if we could just go ham with nodes, like, yeah, there'd be no problem. We wouldn't have to worry about anything. I just got an improperly placed latest follower alert. But we might be... No, we can't have data get gummed up because it all has to get passed through. So the closest we got here was this. Just taking this out. Wait. Wait. Now, thankfully, we can undo stuff, so... Let's see where we were at before we went crazy with that last design. Okay, that was it. We passed it back. That's right. And it was getting slowed down here. But in this setup, we do still have room for one more, how you say, color comparator, or node. We'll do the test run on this one again. I'm pretty sure this one was the one that got us like 47.3 seconds. But completed. It just gets super jammed up in here. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Do that again. Show me that again. There's no way. We're going to slow it down near the end here. Slow it down. Look at all this jammed up data here. Why is it telling us that this is complete, but that our later design ran out of time? Hold on. This game's borked. What is going on here? That did not pass through all of the data. We can see it get jammed up around here when it's getting sent back. Yeah, right? What's going on? We've got all this traffic jam, but it's saying it's fine. But if we go and we put in another SIF node to try and alleviate some of that, the red goes in here. If it's a red triangle. Wait, how did this work? How did we have this? It completes it once the requirement is filled? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So we're trying to alleviate some of that comparison by saying, okay, if you're a red triangle, you go to trash. Otherwise, you go to end. Do another test run like this. So that is what was clearing up some of our gumminess. And one would presume not interfering with anything here. Look at this. Oh, hold, what? Now you're gonna... Is this not the exact same setup that we had before, Ellie? Did I not build this exact same system? And now it decides it wants to work? Oh my goodness, I need to drink something a little stronger than the water I got here. Jeez Louise. I don't understand why, right? Ah, bug report. That's it. Here I thought I was inventing new rules for myself, like, oh, okay, so we have to get the whole data set through and finished by the time it runs out, or that's how I was trying to rationalize it. I was making my own limitations there. We're just too good, you guys. Yeah, ship it, launch it. I'm done with that one. A whole bunch of more cat euros. Fantastic. What is this? We get to watch a video? You have reached the end of the epoch. Click on one of the banners to proceed further in the story. Are we bronze, silver, or gold, you guys? I'm pretty sure we're gold level cat programmers at this point. Ooh, we get another little cutscene. Here we go. Cat mail. Hey, you guys remember this guy? You remember this little fella? Classic internet. What are we doing? This should definitely work. Alright, we're getting further along in our machine cat learning. Eureka! Recognize cat. The cat has been detected, but we still haven't managed to build a cat translator. Chivos, way to go, dawn of civilization. That, you guys, is a mighty fine day of cat programming. If you ask me, cat speech recognition system coming along 21%. We're getting there, you guys. I was thinking that I was probably going to play a whole lot of this game just off stream. I didn't think it was going to be as fun to do on stream as other stuff, but I think I might actually save it so that we get to enjoy this together again in the future. This has been a real fun day. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I think we'll probably end it there since we just completed the first little section. But I think we got more to look forward to. Specifically, 79% of the game left to look forward to. Alright, let's get ready to close out then. Let's head on back over to the main screen, shall we? Oh, big stretches. Yes, remote space programming sessions. That last one shouldn't have taken us as long as it did if it weren't for whatever bug was causing that problem, right? We had all the right ideas. We just couldn't make it work in the moment. Goodness gracious me. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us here today. I hope you all had fun. Let's take a quick look before we close things out. See if there's any friends of the channel that are out doing their own shows today. Maybe we'll drop in and say hello. Keep the party going. Keep it flowing, as it were. Oh, here's somebody that we haven't said hello to in a while. That sounds like a good idea. Good idea, Spaceman. All right, we're getting ready to close up shop then. Let me put in the raid commands here. And we'll say a fond adieu, Space Cadets. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today, wherever and whenever you are. Thanks again for showing up, everybody. I had a great time today. I hope you all did as well. Now, you can join us again next week. We're going to be doing some collaborative Goose Goose Duck games over on Hero King Soul's channel on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then we'll be right back here again at 2 p.m. Eastern next Sunday, right here at Harbor Station for our regular weekend show. We'll catch you on the other side, Space Cadets. Until then, of course, no matter what life throws your way, good luck and Godspeed. This is Vector Spaceman signing off. Now stick around for the raid because we're about to send you off for some more great stuff for your afternoon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, Indy. Thanks for tuning in, Pups, Nova Swarms, Ellie, Hero King Soul, everybody who showed up today, Doc Sagan, and of course everybody that I'm forgetting. All of y'all lurking in the chat. Don't you know we love to see you? Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.